It's been an extremely busy couple of weeks since I put out my last two videos. So I put out a video speaking about, why I'm tempted to leave marketing or stop teaching marketing. Like, I will never stop marketing because obviously I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur, and you need to be marketing your products, your services, whatever it is you're doing. But I spoke about like why I was tempted to leave teaching marketing. And then in my video after that, I spoke about the fact that I was starting a new business, an offline business that had nothing to do with marketing. And it was kind of like my first time venturing into something offline that wasn't marketing in a long time. And now, a couple of weeks later, I've launched the business already. And I want to kind of like speak about what that process has been like and how in a very short space of time. So when I put out my last video to now, the business has come leaps and bounds in literally just a couple of weeks, essentially. And I want to speak about like the journey and where I am now and what I'm kind of focusing on this week. And I did want to use this channel as a way to kind of document the progress of the business. And yeah, I guess this is, the very first video diary of what's been going on, what's been happening, giving some insights into the business, how it's growing and how it's developing. So essentially, I've gone from not having a business at all. So the business went from not being launched yet in my last video a couple of weeks ago. And now we have a customer base, and we have interviews, we have venue space, all of these kinds of things that we're kind of like building up and have been building up in the last couple of weeks. So I think a lot of the things that I've been speaking about on this channel for so many years are a lot of the things that I've implemented into the business, which has allowed it to grow a lot quicker than I would say, a typical startup would grow. And I launched without a website, I launched without a logo, I launched without branding, all of those things that people say are essential. And don't get me wrong, like they are important. Like you do eventually need a website. Well, you don't need a website. I've spoken about, the fact that you don't need a website to bring clients in. And I've been able to bring clients in. Since the business has launched, new clients have been coming in every single day. And this is all from my online marketing. So even though it's a in-person physical business, I'm still using digital marketing to market the business itself. All of the things I teach on this YouTube channel, all of the things I teach in the formula, I'm using in a real life practical business. And yeah, so like I was mentioning, like you still need your website, your branding and your logo and stuff like that. But all of that stuff can come later on down the line. And what a lot of people don't realize is they waste so much money building a business that hasn't proven itself yet. So there's so many ways to prove a business. And I don't care if you're selling a product or if you're selling a service. There's steps that you should be taking to prove your business before you invest loads of money into it. Like before you invest any money into buying stock of a product or investing in a service and, hiring a space or having a restaurant or whatever it might be. A lot of people take out loans and they get themselves into debt before they've even proven that they can drive customers. Whereas what I did was the opposite way around. I got customers first and then I launched afterwards. And so I want to kind of speak about how that can be done and how it should be done. So obviously the very first thing is always your market research. Like what is the demand like for the product or the service that you're planning to put out? So you can use simple tools like the Google Keyword Planner tool, a tool that I speak about so often on this YouTube channel. You can use Google Trends to see the trends of certain keywords and certain products and services as well. So you can use this to kind of like estimate the demand for a product or service or a business that you're planning to put out there. Now, another kind of step to that is looking at some of your competitors. If it's a local business like mine, then it's pretty easy to do that. You can analyze some of your competitors and see how they're marketing. When you kind of like research for your industry on Google, or you can use, AI, you can use ChatGPT, you can use Gemini to just research, who is already serving this market, who are some of the major big competitors in the game, and how are they doing their marketing. A lot of the times, and kind of this is the reason why Day Tips done so well, was because there's so many companies and some of them are really big, really well established, that are not doing their marketing well. So there's huge gaps in so many different industries of people who are not following some of the basic marketing principles that I teach on this YouTube channel, and you can really fill that hole and offer a similar or the same service, but you're just doing good digital marketing. And that's essentially what I've been able to do in the last few weeks with my business. Is like, there are companies that do exactly what I do and have been running for years, and I've been able to penetrate that market and kind of almost steal a lot of clients from my competitors, simply because they're just not doing the marketing in the right way. And just by taking a little bit of time out to really become a practitioner, to really become a student of marketing and learn the fundamentals, learn traffic plus conversions equals sales. You know, what is traffic, quality traffic, low quality traffic? What is a conversion? How do you get conversions to your website? How do you turn a lead into a customer? How do you turn a customer into someone who buys again and who is a regular customer? All of these kinds of things are really important. And so you can actually go a step further and test a concept before you invest loads of money. So for example, if it's a service you are providing, you can try to promote that service, but do lead generation for it first. So you can, you know, create a landing page, put some adverts out there. You don't have to spend a lot of money. This can cost you like $40, $50 if you're spending $10 a day, to just see how many people opt in to potentially do business with you. So this is a way of getting, you know, if no one opts in or very few people opt in, then you know that maybe you need to change your offer. So rather than setting up your whole practice, and I've literally had clients who've done this in the past, they have like booked out their, rented a office space, they've paid for so many different resources for their business, so they're thousands of dollars or pounds in debt or in minus before they've even tested the concept to see, do people even want this? Are people even going to opt into this for free? If people are not opting into it for free to receive information about when your product or service launches, then they're not going to buy into it. It means you might need to structure what you're offering a little bit differently, or maybe change the platform you're advertising with, you know, so that you can get some interest before you even then go and launch the product or the service. Now, it goes a little bit further with e-commerce. And I wanted to speak about this because this is something that I was doing before I started this YouTube channel, which was e-commerce and selling products online. And one of the things that I used to do was drop shipping to test the demand of a product. So a lot of people teach drop shipping as a business model, and I understand it. You know, it's passive income. You know, you don't have to stock any product or whatever it might be, but you're also you're cutting your profits so finely if you are drop shipping. And I always used to use drop shipping as a research method. So let's say there's a product that you're thinking might sell, might do really well, but there's a lot of demand for selling that particular product. What you can do is drop ship that product, you know, like list it on Shopify, your Shopify store, and start selling it, you know, start promoting it using ads, just a tiny bit of ads. You don't have to go out of pocket. Like I mentioned, you know, $10 a day, you can just send traffic to that dropship website or that dropship product. And if you notice that it's selling really well, you might even make a loss drop shipping it, because by the time you advertise it and, you know, the cost of, you know, drop shipping it and so on, you might make a loss the first week of promoting that product on your Shopify store, your WooCommerce store, your Amazon, your eBay, your Etsy, wherever. You might make a loss drop shipping it. But if you have sold, say, 5 units that week or 10 units that week, and you haven't even put a lot of marketing dollars into it, then you know, okay, cool, this product is selling and I know how to sell it. So once I now buy it in wholesale or buy it in bulk, which will decrease your unit cost for that product, you then know you can actually, you know, make some really good money from that product because you've proven it, you've tested it. So if whenever you're unsure about a product, before you go ahead and like buy 1,000 units and then you can't sell it at a loss first. You know, with a lot of manufacturers as well, with a lot of wholesale companies, there's a minimum that you need to spend, or a minimum quantity amount in order to buy that product. But you can always ask for a sample. So if you email them and you say, hey, look, I'm interested in your product, but can I have a sample of 10? And you might have to buy it at like, a retail price. So again, you're probably losing money doing this kind of research here, but you're going to gain way more insight in the long run. So you buy it at the higher price, and it's just a sample. They might be able to give you a discount because it's a sample, and you can test a couple of things. You can test how good the product is. Like, did the manufacturer do a good job with creating the product or building the product or whatever it might be? So you can test it. And you can also try and sell it as well. Again, you don't have to sell it as a profit. You just want to see if it can fly off the shelf, and you want to see at what price people are buying it for. So you can do some tests here as well. And I've done that before in the past and seen like products just fly off the shelf when I'm either drop shipping it or selling my samples. And then I know, okay, cool, this is a good product. But if I have a sample and it doesn't sell well, or I'm not able to sell it, then it's an indicator to me that, okay, cool, maybe this isn't the product for me to sell. Let me try a different sample of a different product. So rather being in the minus of £1,000 before I've even started the business, I might be in minus of, say, £50 because I did the test, it didn't really work. And I can continue doing that with loads of different products, and until I find one that, as soon as I put it up online, it sells, and I'm like, cool, now I can buy it at bulk and negotiate with my supplier to get the unit cost down so my profit margin is bigger. And it's the same with a service-based business. As I mentioned, can you do a pre-launch? Tell people that the service is about to launch in their area or wherever it is you are running this business or planning to run this business. Get people's interest, their names, their email address for £10 a month on Google Ads or wherever you're advertising that business. And if you get a lot of interest, a lot of people are leaving their names and email addresses and asking you and inquiring about when the business is starting and so on and so forth, that's a great indicator that, okay, cool, now I can actually go away and, I've got loads of leads, I've got 1,000 leads or whatever it might be. I can go now and create my website, create my logo, spend all of the money now, to do what I have to do. So essentially, that is what I've been working on the last couple of weeks. I've got new leads coming into the business essentially as soon as I launched the business. And like I said, I didn't promote this to family members or friends. I didn't promote it to my current following here on YouTube or to my current email list or any of my social platforms. My social media for this new business was 0 at the beginning, and it's been growing steadily. We're about to hit 50 followers, and I've got, like I said, I've got 0 posts on my social media, but we're still at 50 followers, and it's growing every day. And the leads have been coming in every single day as well for the business, and it's been overwhelming to the point where I am now recruiting staff. So I put the job advert out there over the weekend, and people have been applying. So this week I'm literally going to be interviewing to fill a job role because the business is growing quicker. I want to say quicker than I expected, but I kind of did expect it. But yeah, the business is growing. We're kind of recruiting staff this week, and we've already got our venue. Things are moving. And yeah, I wanted to kind of make this video to keep you all up to date with how things were going in the business. And I'm going to do my absolute best to try and document what I'm doing in the business that's kind of working, and maybe things that I'm doing that might not work, or so on and so forth. And I want to keep you guys along with me on this journey. But I think some of the main points that I wanted to get out in this video is stop spending money in places that don't move the needle for your business. And I feel like I heard somebody say it a few years ago, which was sometimes in business, people are getting ready to get ready. So a lot of the things that we're doing in our businesses don't actually move the needle for our business, but they keep us busy. So we're running a busyness rather than running a business, so to speak. So another thing that I wanted to do was answer a question that someone who is on my email list had. Obviously, I'm going to keep their information anonymous, but I sent out an email last week kind of speaking about the success of the business and how well it was doing, and how literally within 45 minutes of launching, I've had clients and customers coming through the door almost, it hasn't slowed down ever since. So I sent an email to my list, kind of updating everybody on, how the business was going. And for those of you who are not on my email list and you want to stay up to date with what's going on with new webinars, with new courses, with just updates for the business and whatnot, make sure you download the formula, because that will put you on the email list. But it's also a really good read as well. It's kind of like the fundamentals to marketing your business online. So this person wrote me an email and says, thanks for your regular email and the effort to reach out to your subscribers. I have learned a lot from your videos and would very much want to continue interacting and learning from you. Unfortunately, my online Shopify store has not made a single sale since I launched it in November last year. I spent so much money optimizing the shop. I completely got dejected and failed to pay the monthly subscription, and now the store has been suspended. So kind of very similar to a lot of the themes that I've been speaking about in this video already, which is testing the concept and testing the product before you start launching it. Maybe even getting driving leads for your product or your service before you start to launch it. And this is kind of what I want you guys to pay attention to. Is we focus sometimes on the glamour of, we want to make sales, we want to make sales, we want to make sales. But sales are not really that important when it comes to marketing your business. Don't get me wrong, like obviously sales are important, because if you're not able to get sales, you're not able to sustain a business. But what's more important than sales is customer retention in a lot of times. If you're selling a product that is something that people will want to buy again and again and again, that is what's important. That's what's going to keep you in business. So you need to not just think about how can I get a customer through the door, but how can I keep this person as a customer? And again, I'm not going to go into too much detail of the marketing of things, because I've done that in all my other videos on this channel. But you need to think about, all right, cool, how do I build a customer base? People who don't just buy from my Shopify store one time, because it can cost you so much money to get someone to buy a product from you. When you're paying for ads on Google or Instagram or Facebook or wherever you're paying for ads, or if you're doing SEO, like this subscriber has said, like he spent a lot of money on his Shopify store. So when you do get people to buy, you want to ensure that they don't just buy once, that they buy multiple times from you. You can, when they get to checkout, you can do the cross sells, you can do the upsells, but also do the follow-ups as well. Making sure that you're emailing them often with new offers, that you're maybe retargeting them using some of the retargeting methods that I've spoken about on this YouTube channel. So all of those things are really important as well. And the thing about like SEO or free paid methods like social media, they are great, they are fantastic, but usually it's better to start off with a paid marketing strategy. And if you don't have money yet to invest, I recommend finding that money from somewhere, whether you've got to take on an extra shift at work or whatever you've got to do. Like before I was full-time in business, I had like 2 or 3 jobs and I was funding the business. And so if you don't have the income at the moment, it's okay to work for someone else for a little bit so that you can fund the business and put money into adverts. Because SEO is going to take a long time, and building a social media presence without any income is going to take a while for you in most cases, unless you hit a viral video, or if you're an influencer already and you already have a huge following, then obviously launching your business is going to be a lot easier. But for the vast majority of us who are starting from zero, it's going to take a while. And like I said, like it's difficult to prove the concept of your product or your service if you're not getting enough traffic to that product in the first place. So don't be afraid. It doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. And where your money should be spent is in the actual marketing of it, not in the building of it, in the marketing of it. Get some ads out there, create a landing page, get people to the product page so that they can buy it, tweak some of your ads, so that you can split test different things so that you can actually get customers profitably. And I'm going to be speaking about a lot of this stuff kind of going forward. There's a lot of things I'm working on this week in the business. And as I'm kind of working on them in real time, I'll be updating this YouTube channel as much as I can as well, and obviously emailing the list too. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned, make sure you subscribe. And if you have any questions as well that you want me to answer in a YouTube video or in YouTube format, then let me know either in the comment section or send me an email, and I'm going to be incorporating a lot more of your questions inside my YouTube videos. So also, he goes on to say in his email, after I relaunch the store, I would like to come to you to request a one-on-one discussion on how you can help to attract leads and generate conversions. So it's good that he understands the importance of leads and conversions. Obviously, that's the formula. Traffic plus conversions equals sales. So the last thing I will say on this email is, for those of you specifically who are creating a Shopify store, we've spoken about the steps that we need to take. We need to potentially get a sample of your product, a sample amount of your product before launch that you can then try or attempt to sell via your Shopify. You only need to take out a 1-month subscription, create a Shopify store, or create a landing page. You know, you can even use a platform like Samcart. Samcart is a really great product that you can use. You can just, it's a monthly subscription, so you can take out a 1-month subscription on Samcart. You don't even need a Shopify store. Create a landing page for your product, and that sample size that you have of 10 products or whatever it might be, create a simple landing page, promote that using adverts, using ads, $10 a day, whatever it might be. And I believe Samcart has a free trial as well. I have to double check, but I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. And if it's a service that you're planning to sell, lead pages. I speak about lead pages all the time. Again, I'll leave lead pages, a link to it, and some of my YouTube video tutorials on it in the description as well. Like, you can actually generate leads, generate sales, even if it's at a loss, to validate the business concept. Okay, this is how many sales I made this week. Okay, this is how many leads I made this week. I made 200 leads in 1 week. Cool, this is a concept that I can maybe turn into a bigger business. Now let me go and make it profitable by getting my unit cost down and buying products in bulk and all of those kinds of stuff. So we want to think like marketers, but we also want to think like business people. So doing your market research is more than just going onto the Google Keyword Planner tool. It's more than just going on eBay and seeing what products are selling well. It can also be spending a little bit of money, buying the product, or getting a landing page and testing and seeing how people interact with what it is you're about to offer. So you can assess the demand in advance. You might even already know what your conversion rate is. What's your cost per acquisition? How much is it costing you to get a customer coming through the door? You might know that before you even properly launch. You might still be selling your test sample products, and just by selling those test sample products and by putting it out there, you now know how much it's costing you to get a customer. So you know how much you can spend, or how much you need to spend in ads to make a certain amount of money, and you know how much you're going to make in profit potentially. You can know all of that before you invest, and this is when you should be investing some of your savings, or investing or getting a loan, or whatever it might be, because you have the numbers there, you have the tests to back it up that this is actually going to go well. And obviously if the test or the sample doesn't go well, then repackage it, rebrand it, and then put it out there and see how well it does. So like I said, I'm going to be going into more detail about how all of this works, but hopefully this helps some of you guys out. I do believe that this format is a good format going forward for this channel. I have like over 660 something videos on this channel specifically about marketing. And there's so much on here that you guys can kind of make use of in terms of like the technical aspects of the marketing. And it doesn't mean that I won't be putting out more technical content anymore, but probably a lot less. And you know, I'll maybe focus on the technical side of things in my courses, my LinkedIn learning courses. I'll leave a link to those in the description as well, and the courses on daytips.com as well. So hopefully you gained value from this video. Please leave your comments if you have any questions, or feel free to send me an email, and hopefully I can have one of your questions answered in my next YouTube video. But until next time, have a great day, and I'll see you soon.